So boys and girls were continuing to go back into history looking for old art. And last week we talked about the cave paintings that were 17,000 years old. Today we're going to begin talking about very, very old artwork that was found in Egypt. Now we call it ancient Egypt because Egypt still exists today, but the things we're talking about were found from a long time ago. I'm going to be showing you a video of some girls who will be driving down modern streets in cars, but will be able to visit the things from long ago. There you can see the pyramids in the background. Now today I'm going to be talking about something called hieroglyphics. And this was one of the first ways that people would write down words, or at least what we would call word pictures. They drew these hieroglyphics on everything, their monuments, their obelisks, their wall carvings that you're going to see here in just a minute, because that was their language. And thank goodness they did, because now we can figure out what they were saying. Now this shape is called a cartouche. And if you ever spot a cartouche, you will know that inside of it is the name of a pharaoh. The pharaoh was like the king of Egypt. So I want you to start looking for the cartouche and see if you can spot it. Here's some artwork from ancient Egypt. Can you find the cartouche? Start to train your eye and see if you can find it. Here's a ring from who would have a pharaoh. Can you spot the cartouche? It's right there. So that would have meant that it was for the king. Here's some jewelry. Can you spot the cartouche? This one's a little sneaky. It's down there on the bottom. Here's even a box that's shaped like a cartouche. Can you spot where it is? Right there. And then here's just a few more pieces of artwork that you can obviously tell now that this is the shape of a cartouche with hieroglyphics written inside. And like we already said, the name inside would have been the name of a pharaoh. Now today you are going to be using real papyrus. I will already have the beginnings of your cartouche drawn on there. You're going to go around the outside edge of it, and then you're actually going to be drawing on the bottom what they would call the knot, because the cartouche was actually supposed to look like a rope, and that this part right here would be where the knot was, and then when you would go around, you would put these little marks to kind of make it look like a rope that was encircling the name of the king. So once you've finished your cartouche, now it's going to be time for you to look at those hieroglyphics and figure out how to write your name, because we're going to pretend today like you're a pharaoh, because you're pretty special, so we may as well. So you're going to be looking for the letters that are in your name. Some of you may want to write it shorter, some of you are going to write it longer. The thing is, it is a little intimidating, but just imagine being a scribe long ago where you would have been carving these into rock. Can you imagine making a mistake while you're carving into rock? There's no way you can erase it. Good grief, that would have been stressful. So here you can see that I'm drawing a vulture because my name is Anne and it starts with an A. Now I'm doing the symbol for water, which is a zigzag line, and that is the letter N. Now they actually had two ways of writing the letter N, and you can see here that this is actually a crown. It would have fit on their head, and this was the crown for an area called Lower Egypt, and I can even show you where that is on the map. And then the last letter in my name is an E, so for that I'm drawing the feather just like the girls saw in the video. Now, as far as colors, once again, we can only use the colors that they would have had. They used yellow because they would find gold. Now, that was no easy feat. There was something called carnelian or carnelian, and it was a reddish color. And you'll be able to spot that in their jewelry, that they would take that and they would cut it. Carnelian could also be sort of an orangish color, as you can see there in the corner. Then there was a stone called turquoise, which amazingly enough is the color turquoise. So cool. And then here you can see that sometimes turquoise was a greenish color. If you look at that artwork, you can see it there. And then my favorite, lapis lazuli, was a stone that was bright blue. And they would find that blue stone and they would cut it and they would put it in their artwork. Now you should be smart enough now to be able to spot the carnelian, turquoise, lapis lazuli, and gold in these. Remember, there was turquoise, lapis lazuli, and carnelian. Now I want you to take a good look at this part of the sarcophagus of King Tut. And do you see how those stripes are actually lapis lazuli? And here on his pectoral collar, can you spot the carnelian and the turquoise and the lapis lazuli? This is a picture of King Tut, and I'm sure you can spot those colors. Here's some jewelry that he would have worn. And it's going to make more and more sense that those are the colors that you can use because you're going to see it everywhere in their artwork. Now at the very end, it's quite possible that you'll have some time to be using my gold markers. You'll never color in something completely with the gold marker, but you can just add a few little lines here and there to really make it pop. So boys and girls, I can't wait to see what your cartouche is going to look like. Have fun.